the beginning of negotiation is first understanding who the sellers are. Is it a private equity firm that's owned it, and they're the third firm that's owned it? Is it a founder who's had it forever? Is it a family who's had it for a long time? It's sort of good to understand that, so you get a sense that there's some more to it than just dollars and cents. So certainly the negotiation has to really begin with that knowledge, who owns what, as well as excellent due diligence. So if you thoroughly understand what the company's results are and other issues that you've uncovered during due diligence, you'll have a much better perspective on how to begin a negotiation. Also, it's key to not be personal, no personal attacks or whatever. A lot of times at the very beginning of a deal, when I'm on the other side, when I'm the seller, it seems like a lot of companies acquirers start with the attack right away, try to get the seller on the defense, which doesn't go well, never has. Most of my work over my whole career has been as an advisor. As a member of Olympic Steel, one of the owners, I was buying for myself, but I didn't see a single bit of difference for me. I think as an advisor or as a buyer, it's personal. It's extremely personal. I feel as excited or as down as the buyer when I'm working with somebody. It has a big impact, and especially when you're talking about something that major. If you're a first-time buyer and you're mortgaging your home, you're signing personally, which means you go bankrupt if it doesn't go well. It's a pretty big deal, and I take it very personal as well. So, unlike your normal day-to-day stuff, being very well prepared, whether you're buying for yourself or you're buying for somebody else, is critically important. And I get paid a lot to do it, so it's not like I'm getting some small stipend to help somebody do this. It's relatively material even to me. Well, the best thing by a mile is I've done this over 100 times. So I tend to work with people who have never sold a company once or never bought a company once, many times, never at all. So especially for someone who sells for the first and only time, helping them through the whole process, it's like deer in a headlight to many people, because they don't understand the simple process to go through. Anyone that's done it 20 times knows all the steps and knows what to look out for. And it's very gratifying to help somebody experience something that is not common sense. The steps you go through, like making sure you have an M&A lawyer versus your normal lawyer who may be an estate lawyer. Is your house clean? What all you got to do to make sure you're ready to be acquired? Are your financial statements in great shape? What other issues do you have? Do you have environmental issues? Have you addressed them? Have you cleaned them up? Do you have any other HR issues? Have they been addressed? Are we going to hire investment bankers, or are we going to do more of a business broker, or we're not going to do it at all? We're just going to talk to the 4 likely buyers. All these processes are good to go through. I find it very rewarding during doing that. When I'm working with an experienced seller, I add value, but not to the same degree as when I work with someone who sold something selling something for the first time. That's the best to me. Well, the Cleveland deal scene is there. I don't believe there's as many deals or companies selling than in maybe some other communities. However, the lawyers, accountants, and the investment banking environment here in Northeast Ohio is relative to the size of the Cleveland, Ohio. It's much bigger than most. So you have a lot of competency here, whether it's an investment banking firm or the law firms have a lot of M&A experience. So the firms here in town reach a long way from Northeast Ohio. They're basically Midwest firms or national firms, as in the case of Jones Day or Benish Friedlander or some of the other ones. And they go all over the country. So you got a lot of competency for as small a city as we are. So what I'd like to see is more successful companies. There's a lot more of them that are growing and may need the next piece of capital maybe not to sell, but an equity investor coming in to buy a piece of the company to keep it going so we can continue to build Northeast Ohio. Critical to me from my efforts in Jumpstart, I want to see Cleveland get bigger and stronger every day versus where we have been. Clearly we're improving, but I'd like to see us get further along.